I want to take something there you're saying, and this highlights a very important thing, and this is the core of the message of Islam. Call to oneness of God, call to morality and family values. Are you saying that if we lose on our morality, we're going to lose everything gradually? Is this happening in the world everywhere? When we lose morality and character and manners?
That's right. Because morality in its essence is not something artificial. People here tend to look at morality as a phony thing that people do on Sundays or on Saturdays and Fridays. But morality is only trying to be a good person, a God-fearing person, a clean person, to respect other people's distance, their space, for males to respect females, for us to have sexual relationships within our families, to not be involved in the taking of drugs and alcohol for entertainment. We'd only use drugs in the case of medicine, as tranquilizers, something like that. And so, morality is something which goes even outside of religion itself. Any decent human being, any civilized human being should have a set of moralities. What separates Islam from the other systems is that this morality comes from the Creator of the heavens and the earth, who knows us better than ourselves. So therefore, it is the most organized, most straightforward form of morality. But you will find in other ways of life similar aspects of this morality, where people have tried to organize their lives and to lead, a good existence, so they don't cause confusion and get involved in murder and injustice.
Dr. Quick, you've been in over 57 countries. You visited, you lectured, you have seen people, you have counseled. But, it'll be nice for someone who's a traveler coming back home and telling us what he has seen. Mm-hmm. What is happening in the world with morality? Because it's becoming worse and worse. I don't give in this show a pessimistic view. I want to have optimism. There is always a solution and God is there. But what is happening in the world, in your analysis, specifically with the issue of character? The character is being destroyed.
Yeah, well, what we find, and especially there was a recent report done by the United Nations, and they showed that the largest part of the population now in the world are teenagers, people between 15 to 24. But the crises that the teenagers are facing, they're facing a crisis in violence, in disease, in poverty, and one of the big problems for the teenagers is a breakdown in traditional values. Now that's the United Nations talking. So this is something beyond just what's happening to Muslims or Christians, but all over the world, people leave their traditional values. And you will find within African society, within European society, China, India, you'll find, if you go back to the roots of the society, people had respect for each other. The young people respected the adults. Males respected females. You see that there was a consciousness. There was not wholesale violence for the most part, except when kings came in and politics came in. But the people on the ground, had a respect for humanity. Today, with globalization, unfortunately, the technology of the West is being combined with a culture created in Hollywood, a culture of consumerism, where people are more involved with materialism. They care more about these technological items, their cell phone or their watch or their car, than they care about their ethics. In the past, you wouldn't judge a person by his shoes, or by the cell phone. You would judge that person by their honesty, their dignity, their qualities. But today with globalization, this has changed. And so this is a challenge all over the world. And there are people in all societies now who are saying, no, we're finished with this. We want the technology, we want the advancements, but we don't want to have a Hollywood-created McDonaldization, type of culture, which would turn us into consumers that are more controlled by their stomachs and their private parts than they are by their minds and their souls. So this is something which is happening all over the world, and Islam can take the lead because we do combine the dunya and akhirah. So we have something for this world and the hereafter. And that's really what is needed today, a system of life where people can be connected to the next life, but at the same time they take care of this life, where you can be in the world but not of the world. You can be part of the 21st century but not controlled by the gadgets of the 21st century.
Dear viewers, this is the message of Islam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, summarizing all his mission, he said, I was sent to all mankind to establish good morality and good manners. So he did not highlight the prayers, he did not highlight the tawheed, which is the essence, but he said, I was sent with the same message as the prophets, but my main message is to establish morality. And this is the biggest bankruptcy we ever had in morality. And not only, as you said, Muslims who are saying this, people from different faiths.
You know, on the local level, we need to have an emphasis on the recreation. And one of the points that was noted by the United Nations, and it's an amazing report that they did, is that, you know, there's a great crisis with drugs, the drugs coming in, illegal substance abuse. And also one of the great challenges is free time. What do people do on the weekends? How do we enjoy ourselves? How do the youth involve themselves in recreation? Do you have to drink beer in order to be a good athlete? Do you have to wear tight, thin clothes and expose your body in order to be a modern person? And so these are the questions. So, and this is where Muslims can provide alternative recreation. People of good conscience need to provide alternative systems. When we were here before, we developed a swimming program for women. And at first, you know, we went to the city government and we got a swimming pool, and it would be only for women. So, so we had Muslim sisters who would come to the pool, you know, dressed, you know, in modest clothing, and they swim in the pool. But suddenly, when the word got out to other women, women of all nationalities wanted to come to the pool until you couldn't even move in the pool. Now, why all the women want to go to the pool? Because in the normal pools, you have these Johns, as they call them, staring at women. They don't come to swim. They come for immorality. And so the women themselves wanted to be protected from immorality, even though they weren't even Muslims. Maybe they weren't in any religion. So this is a human problem. And Islam came to deal with human problems and to give solutions from the Creator for human problems. And that is that morality is something which is crucial for the younger generation, but it needs to be done with action-oriented activities, done in a 21st century way, which is easy for the youth to take in, and that they can still benefit from technology because they're connected to the technology, still benefit, and yet at the same time be a moral person.
For any information about Dr. Quick, www.hakimquick, as you see it in the bottom of the screen.com. And for any question that you have, info@faithoflife.net. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum.